The Rhine is a source of life in the heart of Western Europe, a lifeline for hundreds of species, varied habitats, and for man. The Rhine has many aspects. Sometimes it's wild nature, and sometimes it's city life on the banks of the river. The river connects more than 50 million people and their widely varied mentalities. Everybody has his or her own personal view of the Rhine, be it private or professional. Responsibility is shared, even by wine growers and farmers. The more environmentally friendly they work, the easier it is to produce drinking water from Rhine water. No matter how insignificant the individual pollution may be, in the end, there is too great a strain on the ecosystem. For the developed world, this is a matter of concern. A polluted Rhine is a joint problem. 9 countries share a common destiny and cooperate in the ICPR, the International Commission for the Protection of the Rhine. Delegates discuss up to 70 times per year how to sustainably use and protect the resources in the entire river basin. They will only achieve their targets in common consent and in spite of different characters, mentalities, political mandates, and languages: French, Dutch, and German. In technical groups, experts struggle to achieve an agreement on details. And they are very successful, as years of cooperation have created mutual confidence. That was not always the case. Formerly, distrust was an obstruction to water protection. There was concurrence between the states. They considered the Rhine to be a waste bin, and it became a sewer. Along the Rhine, an industrial density developed as nowhere else in the world. Navigation rapidly increased, and the Rhine developed into an important international waterway. In particular, the chemical industry and the metallurgy industry benefited from the Rhine. The river gave them a possibility for considerable economic growth. After an accident, their behavior changed. On November 1, 1986, a warehouse burned down at the Sandoz AG near Basel. The firefighting water washed up to 30 tons of pesticides into the Rhine. Fish and other organisms died along hundreds of kilometers of the Rhine. People protested vehemently. This was a historic opportunity. Government ministers adopted the Rhine Action Program. They wanted the Rhine to become clean enough for salmon to return to the river. All initiatives are coordinated by the ICPR Secretariat in Koblenz. There is the sense of a new era about to dawn. Politics, municipalities, industry, and citizens all join forces. There is a huge media response. The ICPR becomes a pioneer in water protection. Within 10 years, the amount of noxious chemicals discharged is to be reduced by 50%. Along the Rhine, scientists analyze the pollutant content of water, organisms, and sediments. The target is less and less toxic wastewater and improved accident prevention. Today, in case of an accidental spill, a warning and alarm plan warns people downstream and beyond the borders. The number and effectiveness of wastewater treatment plants constructed along the Rhine is unequaled in Europe. Even industry joins in the efforts. Industrial wastewater treatment plants, control centers, and fire brigades help to achieve a clean Rhine and improve the general image. By the mid-90s, the water is much cleaner than expected. Many sensitive plant and animal species return to their former habitats. The amounts of toxic substances discharged are massively reduced. At last, the water is even clean enough for salmon to return. An important symbol for the ICPR and its success. Water quality is good, but more has still to be achieved. The salmon are used to fighting their way to the upstream spawning grounds. They jump as high as 3 meters and a distance of 5 meters, but for a long time it was not possible to surmount these obstacles until the first fish ladders helped to pass the locks. The first major fish passage, located at the Iffezheim hydropower plant, cost 9 million euros. In the meantime, many more migration structures have been built. This fish ladder bridges 11 meters of elevation. A success, but not enough. We still have too many artificially straightened riverbanks, and river meadows and natural floodplains are cut off from the river. If habitats are not interconnected, the river changes its course. Floods belong to the normal cycle of the year. Having lost its former floodplains, the Rhine finds new paths to follow. In 1993 and 1995, the flood crested at almost 11 meters and caused considerable economic damage. And again, the ICPR takes a leading role. In 1998, the Action Plan on Floods is passed. Its target: to extend the floodplains of the Rhine and make them functional. Many flood retention areas are created behind the dikes and flooded as water levels rise. The biocenosis of the floodplains requires regular floods, even though some species do not appreciate wet feet. Floodplains, being natural flood buffers and nurseries for numerous species, are a precious asset for the Rhine. If habitats along the river are interconnected, the salmon too will thrive, and so will man at long last. Despite all efforts, there are new challenges ahead. The ICPR is prepared to face them with its experience and together with its experts.